Frostvale wasn't simply a village, it was a character in itself, a living, breathing testament to the Arctic's duality. The wind, a constant, biting presence, carried whispers of ancient Inuit legends, tales of shapeshifters and spirits that roamed the frozen wastes. The ice, a seemingly impenetrable barrier, held secrets within its crystalline depths, remnants of ancient creatures and lost expeditions. The village, a collection of weathered cabins nestled amidst the glacial moraine, was a fragile outpost of humanity, clinging to the edge of an untamed world. Anya Petrov, with her haunted eyes and the weight of a past she desperately tried to bury, wasn't just a refugee. She was a woman marked by tragedy, her soul scarred by the loss of her husband, Dr. Alexei Petrov. Alexei, a brilliant marine biologist, hadn't simply disappeared. He had stumbled upon a dangerous conspiracy, a network of individuals exploiting the Arctic's resources for their own gain. His research into the narwhal, a creature of myth and mystery, had led him to a hidden truth, a secret that someone was willing to kill for. The Rogue Research Group wasn't just an organization, it was a shadow syndicate, a powerful entity with tendrils reaching into the highest echelons of power. Their operations in the Arctic weren't just about scientific exploration, they were about exploitation, about extracting rare minerals and biological specimens for profit, regardless of the consequences. Anya's flight to Frostvale was a desperate gamble, a last-ditch effort to shield Kira from the syndicate's reach, to protect her daughter from the same fate that had befallen her father. Kira, with her wild auburn hair and eyes that shimmered like the aurora borealis, wasn't just a child. She was a conduit, a vessel of ancient wisdom. Her connection to the wilderness wasn't merely playful, it was profound, an intuitive understanding of the Arctic's intricate ecosystem. She spoke to the wind, listened to the crackling ice, and felt the pulse of the tundra's creatures. Her laughter, a rare and precious sound in the desolate landscape, was a beacon of hope, a defiant spark against the encroaching darkness. The shadow Anya saw wasn't just a wolf, it was a manifestation of the Arctic spirit, a guardian sent to protect Kira from harm. Its silver-gray fur, marked with a distinctive black streak down its spine, wasn't just camouflage. It was a symbol of its lineage, a mark of its ancient bloodline. Its blue eyes, piercing and intelligent, held a depth that unsettled Anya, a sense of recognition that sent shivers down her spine. The wolf was more than an animal. It was a sentinel, a protector, a harbinger of change. The fear Anya felt wasn't just primal. It was a premonition, a sense that the wolf's arrival was intertwined with her past, a harbinger of a danger she had hoped to escape. She didn't just lock the door, she reinforced it with iron bars, barricaded the windows with heavy wooden planks, her hands trembling with a fear that went beyond the mere presence of a wild animal. She felt a sense of dread, a feeling that she was being hunted, that the syndicate had found her. The wolf's continued presence wasn't just observation, it was a vigil, a silent promise. It wasn't just watching Kira, it was guarding her, protecting her from an unseen threat. Anya noticed the way the wolf's gaze followed Kira's every move, the way it positioned itself between Kira and the forest's edge, the way it seemed to anticipate danger before it arrived. The wolf's presence was a constant reminder of the danger that lurked in the shadows, a threat that Anya couldn't ignore. The weeks that followed were filled with an unsettling tension, a sense that they were living under a watchful eye. Anya wasn't just trying to ignore the wolf, she was battling a growing sense of paranoia, a feeling that she was being hunted, that her past had caught up with her. She spent her days scanning the horizon, searching for any sign of the syndicate's presence, her nights haunted by nightmares of Alexei's disappearance. Kira's fascination with the wolf wasn't just childlike curiosity, it was a deep intuitive connection, a sense that she understood the animal's unspoken language. She didn't just name it Luna, she whispered secrets to it, sharing her dreams, her fears, her longing for a father she barely remembered. She told Luna about the stories her father had told her, about the narwhal and the hidden wonders of the Arctic, about the importance of protecting the natural world. "She's not lonely, Mama," Kira corrected, her eyes filled with a wisdom beyond her years. She's waiting for someone to come back." Anya's heart ached not just with her daughter's words, but with the realization that Kira was seeing something she couldn't, a truth that lay hidden beneath the surface of their lives. She began to wonder if Luna was waiting for someone, if the wolf was connected to someone who had disappeared, just like Alexei. The whine Anya heard wasn't just a plea for help. It was a cry of desperation, a sound that echoed the pain Anya had tried to suppress. The wound wasn't just a bullet, it was a deliberate act of cruelty, a sign that the wolf had been targeted, hunted by someone with a purpose. The bullet, a custom-made round with a unique rifling pattern, suggested that the shooter was a professional, someone with access to specialized weaponry. Anya's hands didn't just tremble with fear, they trembled with the weight of her past, the memories of her husband's disappearance, the fear that the same forces were now threatening her daughter. The act of tending to the wolf's wounds wasn't just compassion, it was defiance, a refusal to succumb to the fear that had paralyzed her for years. She worked with a fierce determination, her hands moving with a practiced precision honed by years of assisting Alexei in his research. As she tended to Luna's wounds, Anya noticed a series of scars on the wolf's body, each one a testament to a life of struggle and survival. She saw a deep gash on Luna's flank, a mark that suggested a close encounter with a large predator. She saw a series of smaller scars on Luna's muzzle, evidence of countless battles fought and won. These scars weren't just marks on Luna's body, they were a map of her past, a story written in fur and flesh. Luna's presence wasn't just a comfort, it was a catalyst, forcing Anya to confront the secrets she had buried. Kira's laughter wasn't just playful, it was a beacon, drawing Anya out of her self-imposed isolation. Anya began to spend more time with Kira, sharing stories of Alexei, of his love for the Arctic, of his dedication to protecting its fragile ecosystem. The small details Anya noticed weren't just observations. They were clues, pieces of a puzzle that was slowly coming together. Luna's protective gaze wasn't just instinct, it was a deliberate act of guardianship, a promise to protect Kira from harm. Anya noticed the way Luna's eyes followed Kira's every move, the way she seemed to anticipate danger before it arrived, the way she positioned herself between Kira and the forest's edge. The locket wasn't just a trinket, it was a key, a link to a past that was more complex and dangerous than Anya had imagined. The woman in the picture wasn't just a researcher, she was a pioneer, a woman who had dared to challenge the established order, to uncover the secrets of the Arctic's hidden ecosystem. Anya recognized the woman from an old photograph in the village archives, a picture of Dr. Elena Volkov, a brilliant researcher who had disappeared years ago. Elena's research wasn't just about wolves, it was about a hidden ecosystem, a delicate balance of life and death that was being threatened by a powerful, clandestine organization. The locket wasn't just a photograph, it was a coded message, a piece of a puzzle that Elena had left behind, a trail that led to a truth that someone was willing to kill for. Anya noticed a series of symbols engraved on the locket's clasp, symbols that matched those found in Elena's research notes. Elena's notes weren't just scientific observations, they were a chronicle of her discoveries, a record of the syndicate's activities. She had uncovered evidence of illegal mining operations, of the capture and exploitation of rare Arctic animals, of the disruption of the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Her notes also contained a series of coded messages, hints of a hidden truth, a secret that someone was willing to silence her for. Anya's trembling hands weren't just fear, they were a mix of dread and dawning understanding, a chilling realization that her past and Elena's were inextricably linked. The familiar face wasn't just a coincidence, it was a connection, a link to a conspiracy that reached beyond the remote village of Frostville, a network of power and corruption that threatened to engulf her and Kira. Elena's disappearance wasn't just an accident, it was a carefully orchestrated act to silence her research, to protect the secrets she had uncovered. The village archives weren't just a repository of history, they were a source of information, a place where Anya could piece together the fragments of Elena's life, the clues she had left behind. She spent hours poring over old documents, photographs, and research notes, searching for any detail that could shed light on Elena's fate. The clandestine organization wasn't just poachers. They were a powerful syndicate, a group that operated in the shadows, exploiting the Arctic's resources for their own gain. They weren't just hunting wolves. They were manipulating the ecosystem, disrupting the delicate balance of nature for their own profit. Anya discovered that the syndicate had established a hidden research facility deep within the Arctic wilderness, a place where they conducted illegal experiments on animals, extracted rare minerals, and developed advanced weaponry. The syndicate wasn't just a faceless entity. It was a network of individuals, each with their own agenda, their own secrets. Anya began to identify key figures within the organization, individuals with influence and power, individuals who were willing to kill to protect their interests. She discovered that the syndicate had infiltrated the highest levels of government, corrupting officials and manipulating policies to further their own goals. Luna's connection to Kira wasn't just a resemblance. It was a blood tie, a hidden lineage that linked the two girls. Elena's daughter, Sophia, wasn't just a child. She was a key, a missing piece in the puzzle, a target for the syndicate. Anya realized that Kira and Sophia shared a unique genetic marker, a trait that made them valuable to the syndicate, a trait that they were willing to exploit. The syndicate was searching for Sophia, believing that she held the key to unlocking a hidden technology, a powerful energy source that Elena had discovered. Anya's mind didn't just race. It spun with a whirlwind of possibilities, a sense that she was caught in a web of deceit, a conspiracy that reached into the heart of her own past. The grief and guilt weren't just personal. They were a burden, a responsibility to protect Kira from the same forces that had taken her husband and Elena. She felt a burning desire for justice, a need to expose the syndicate and bring them to justice. The striking resemblance wasn't just physical, it was a genetic echo, a bloodline that linked Kira to Elena's research, to the secrets she had uncovered. Luna wasn't just drawn to Kira, she was bound to her, a guardian sent to protect her from harm. Anya discovered that Luna was not just a wolf, she was a genetically modified animal, a product of Elena's research, a creature designed to protect and serve. Luna was a living testament to Elena's work, a symbol of the power of nature and the potential for good. The depth of Luna's loyalty wasn't just animal instinct, it was a bond forged in love and loss, a promise to protect the bloodline, to carry on Elena's legacy. The loss of her pack and human family wasn't just tragedy, it was a driving force, a determination to protect what remained, to ensure that Elena's work wasn't in vain. Luna was more than just a companion. She was a protector, a warrior, a symbol of resistance against the syndicate. Anya began to understand the true nature of Elena's research. Elena had discovered a hidden ecosystem beneath the Arctic ice, a network of geothermal vents and underwater caves that supported a unique and diverse array of life. She had also discovered a powerful energy source, a rare mineral that could revolutionize the world. The syndicate was determined to exploit this discovery, to control the energy source and use it for their own gain. Anya realized that she and Kira were not just victims. They were key players in a larger conflict, a battle for the future of the Arctic. She decided to take action, to fight back against the syndicate, to protect her daughter and honor Elena's legacy. She began to gather information, to build alliances, to prepare for a confrontation. The setting sun wasn't just a natural phenomenon. It was a symbol of the end of an era, a moment of reckoning. Luna's departure wasn't just a farewell. It was a call to action, a signal that the time for hiding was over. Anya knew that the syndicate was closing in, that they were aware of her investigation. She had to act quickly, to expose their activities and bring them to justice. Anya's breaking voice wasn't just sadness. It was a declaration of defiance, a promise to protect her daughter, to honor Elena's memory. She gathered her courage, her determination fueled by love, and a burning desire for justice. Luna's nuzzle wasn't just affection. It was a transfer of guardianship, a passing of the torch. Luna was entrusting Kira to Anya's care, giving her the strength to face the challenges ahead. Kira's tears weren't just grief. They were a baptism, a rite of passage, a moment of understanding that she was part of something bigger than herself. She felt a connection to Luna, to Elena, to the Arctic wilderness. She understood that she had a role to play, a responsibility to protect the natural world. Luna's soft whine wasn't just a sound, it was a message, a warning, a promise to return. Luna was signaling that the final confrontation was approaching, that the time for action was at hand. The disappearance into the snow wasn't just a departure, it was a vanishing act, a strategic retreat, a preparation for a final confrontation. Anya and Kira joined forces with a small group of allies, individuals who believed in Elena's work, who were willing to risk everything to expose the syndicate. They infiltrated the syndicate's hidden research facility, gathering evidence of their illegal activities, exposing their corrupt practices. They faced danger and betrayal, but they never wavered in their determination. The final confrontation took place amidst a raging blizzard, a battle against the elements in the syndicate's forces. Anya and her allies used their knowledge of the Arctic wilderness, their skills in survival and combat, to outmaneuver the syndicate. They exposed their crimes to the world, revealing their corrupt practices and their exploitation of the Arctic's resources. Luna returned, leading a pack of genetically modified wolves, creatures of strength and loyalty, a force of nature unleashed. Together they defeated the syndicate, bringing their reign of terror to an end. Justice was served, and the Arctic was protected. The changing cabin wasn't just a shift in atmosphere, it was a transformation, a place of resilience, a sanctuary for those who dared to challenge the darkness. Anya's volunteer work wasn't just community service, it was a mission, a campaign to expose the syndicate, to protect the Arctic's fragile ecosystem. She became a voice for the voiceless, a champion for the natural world. Elena's legacy wasn't just a story, it was a movement, a call to arms, a fight for justice. Anya established a foundation in Elena's name, dedicated to protecting the Arctic and promoting sustainable research. The silent thank you wasn't just gratitude, it was a promise, a vow to carry on the fight, to ensure that the echoes of Frostvale resonated with truth and justice. Kira grew into a young woman, a scientist, a protector of the Arctic. She carried on her mother's work, her eyes filled with the wisdom of the wilderness, her heart filled with the love of Luna. She understood that the Arctic was not just a place, it was a living, breathing entity, a testament to the power of nature and the resilience of life. The northern lights dancing across the Arctic sky became a symbol of hope, a promise of a new dawn. The echoes of Frost Vale, once a whisper of fear, became a symphony of courage, a testament to the enduring power of love, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between humans and the wild.